Hi, John Valvano here, and in this video I want to overview what the colors look like in the PCB view. And in this window here, you can see there's a lot of colors, and we're not going to do them all, but we're going to do the ones that matter to you. First, let's talk about front copper. Okay, this is copper, which will be our pads and our traces. Okay, and you can see it's red. So there aren't any traces yet, but you can see that the pads here have a copper ring for the resistor and the LED. Okay? So the red is copper, and it's on the front or the top of the board. All right, so I'm going to hide it so you can see the blue is bottom copper. Okay, so these are through-hole pads with copper on the top of the board and the bottom of the board. And when I put traces on the bottom of the board, they're going to be blue. And when I put them on the top of the board, they're going to be red. All right, let's do a few more. So I'm going to hide the blue so you can see some more. Okay. The next two are called masks. Okay. Now it turns out you put down the copper and then you put a mask over it. Okay. And so the mask is going to determine where we can solder to. And you will be able to solder to all the through-hole pads. And so the front mask, okay, was showing you that you could solder to it. When we put down traces, they'll be covered and you won't be able to solder to the traces. And that's the front mask and that's the bottom mask. Okay, so now all we got left is the hole, okay? And so this orange thing here is the hole, okay? Let's go on. So we hid those two. Now let's look at the yellow. This is a very important layer to us. It is the silk screen. It's that white we can see on the printed circuit board, okay? And as you might imagine, F stands for front, and B would stand for bottom. Now there was no front silk over there, so I moved over, and this orange, this pink color is the bottom silk, and it looks kind of weird because it's on the bottom and is reversed, so that when you actually see it, it'll look right. So that says U2 and that says USB. That was the bottom silk. Okay. Okay. Couple more layers that matter. Again, there was no bottom silk over here. And that is the fab layer. Okay, this gray here is a comment, basically, a fabrication comment. And that's for us to get it right when we're laying it out. But you're not going to see the fabrication layer. Okay, so this 470, this D4, this thing that looks like an LED, that thing looks like it won't be seen because if I turn off the fab, you'll see it's not there. All right, so now all we got left is the holes and one more, and that is called a courtyard. Now there's a front courtyard and a back courtyard, but the courtyard, it represents a three-dimensional space occupying spot that you shouldn't put other courtyards overlapping, okay? Because if these two courtyards overlapped, when you went to solder it, it wouldn't fit, okay? So that's the idea of a courtyard, okay? And there's one on the bottom too. Let's put the things back, all right? And what I'm going to show you here, I'm going to hide the courtyard, okay? And so this is what it's going to look like when we make it. So I hid the mask, I hid the courtyards, I hid the fabrication layer. So this is what we're going to see when we build it. Okay. So in summary, you want to understand the different layers, and we're going to mostly work with the front copper, the back copper, and the front and back silk screen. That's what we're mostly going to work with in this design.